Babies? 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 What's up, guys? It's MaCenna and Kinsley, my little baby that doesn't want to stay with me. Oh, and today we're going to be making some really cute things for pets. So if you have a cat or a dog, you can make these. Well, one of the things you might not want to put on a cat, but maybe you do. So we're going to be making a teepee and a dog leash or a leash for your animal. If you walk any animal that you have, you want to make a leash? You want a teepee for all your babies? She loves that word, baby. Babies? So if you guys want to make something really cute and special that looks good in your home and is cute for your pet, then you're definitely gonna wanna try out these DIYs. A lot of the pet accessories and a lot of the stores, especially here in LA, it's really expensive to buy really cute stuff for your pet, especially like really cute leashes, let alone a teepee. I don't even know how much that would cost. These are gonna be super easy to make. These are no sew. So we are not using a sewing machine for these DIYs today. We are basically putting everything together with a hot glue gun. First, we're gonna get started on our leash, and then we're gonna finish off with our teepee, and then we're gonna put all of Kinsley's babies in the teepee. Babies? You're so weird. And we're gonna see how she likes it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is make our leash. So the materials that you're gonna need for this are
a piece of rope, a clasp to attach the leash to a harness, 2 half-inch clamps, scissors, pretty yarn, hot glue gun, and some pliers.
So once you have everything that you need, we're gonna start by connecting the yarn to the metal pieces before making it cuter. So take your rope. Kinsley's pretty small and not the most mannered dog in the world. That's partially my fault because I just want her to be happy. Anyways, so I don't want her very far from me. So I'm only going to do my rope about 5 feet from me. So this is a 6-foot long rope because you're gonna need a little bit more to make the handle at the top. So you're gonna take your rope and your little clicky clip to hook onto their harness. If you have a bigger dog, you can actually turn this into a collar that goes around their neck itself. I'm not about that life, so we're gonna use a harness and a little clippy. Taking the end of your clip, you're just gonna put your rope right inside. Hoping it fits. You will fit. Put it in with about 3 inches hanging out, and then you're just gonna fold that down and we're gonna clamp it with one of our clamps. So taking your massive clamp, you're just gonna put your rope right inside. This clamp is definitely larger than I need it, but that's all they had at Lowe's, and we're gonna cover it anyways and make it cuter, so it doesn't really matter. I was really nervous about just using hot glue for this project because the last thing we want is it to come undone and then your dog to slip off the leash. That would be like my worst nightmare. We're just gonna use these clamps and then hot glue some of this yarn right on top of it so that it's cuter so you don't even see this. So slip the yarn right inside the clamp, and using your pliers, you're just gonna cinch it closed. I have a feeling this is gonna be hard. Oh my God, these are strong. I have to do this again? Oh my Lord. So now I've got my clamps on there, and you can see that like there's like no way that Kinsley's gonna slip out of it. So now that we've got our hook side put in and clamped, we're gonna do the opposite side. So you're gonna take the opposite side and loop it down to how big you want your handle to be. Get your other clamp and place your yarn right inside and do the same thing, just cinch it down. So now both of your ends are clamped. Your puppy's gonna stay on this leash. So next we're gonna make it cuter because this is not cute. This all hanging out like this, that's not cute. So we're gonna just use some more yarn so it kind of like disappears, and we're gonna wrap it around. Get some extra yarn and some hot glue, wrap the entire thing so you're not gonna see it at all. Just keep winding it around and hot gluing right on the top as many times as you need to cover everything up, like that. So now it's all covered. Now we're just gonna do the same thing to the other side. So now I'm gonna show you how to make some really cute pom-poms and tassels to hang off the top of it so that it's just like unique and cute and colorful. So I'm gonna show you how to make some really cute pom-poms and tassels. I find that this type of acrylic yarn is the best for making pom-poms because it has some fullness. So take some yarn and pull some out. And then you're gonna be using your index finger and your middle finger. So you're just gonna space it apart about an inch at the end, and you're gonna hold the end of your yarn right onto your middle finger, and you're going to wrap the yarn around these two fingers about 100 times. So once you wrap your yarn around 100 times, cut the end. Cut about 6-inch strand of yarn. Put the end of the yarn through your two fingers. We're gonna cinch the center of this closed and tight together so that it creates the center of our pom-pom. So once you pull it through your two fingers, just wrap it around to the end and then tie a really tight double knot right in the center. Once you get it around the center and tight enough on your first knot, you can actually slide it off of your fingers and pull tight. Holding that down, tie your second knot. So now you kind of have like a little pancake. Take your scissors and you're going to cut along the edge around the sides. So we're making the ends of the pom-pom. So you're going to just cut the loops all the way around. I find that using my two fingers makes the pom-pom the perfect size. It's gonna look pretty large when you're first doing it. We're gonna be cutting a lot of that off because we're gonna be shaping it into a ball. Okay, so once you've cut all of your loops, hang on to your two cinched pieces. We are gonna give this pom a haircut. So you're just gonna kind of shape your pom-pom into a circle. Like that. And you have a little pom-pom. Ah, so cute! So for a tassel, it's a very similar process to a pom-pom, but we're gonna be using 4 fingers. You're gonna spread apart your 4 fingers, not your thumb, but your 4 other fingers really wide. Basically as wide as they can go, and taking the strand on this side and wrapping it around 20 times. Then you're gonna take the end and stick it through your 2 fingers, so 2 fingers on each side. You're gonna stick it through your middle finger and your ring finger around to the back, creating the same middle point that we did for the pom-pom. Once you get your first knot secured, you can take it off of your fingers and tie it once more into a double knot. So we have a similar pancake that we did for the pom-pom. You can see it's much looser. Cut all of your loops along each side. So you kind of got like an octopus looking thing with a lot more than 8 legs. And then you're gonna kind of hang it down and brush all of the strands in a downward motion together, really creating kind of like a jellyfish or an octopus. About, again, a 5-inch long strand. And you're gonna loop it about 1/2 inch down on your tassel and tie a double knot. This is creating the head of the tassel. Brush it down as tight as possible and make it straight. And that is how you make a tassel and a pom-pom. I made a couple more, and I'm just going to tie them right at the bottom of the loop where your handle is. And there you have it. So next we're gonna get started on our teepee. So the materials that you're going to use for this project are
3 yards of heavy-duty canvas. I got some duck canvas. 4 poles that are each 4 foot tall. Some thick rope or yarn. Some pretty yarn. Some scissors. Hot glue gun. Acrylic paint. And a cute bone-shaped plaque for your dog's name.
So after you have all of your materials, you are going to need to figure out how big your teepee is gonna be. If you're making the same size teepee as me, it's gonna be easy because I'm gonna give you the dimensions for it. So to make it really easy on myself, I kind of brushed off my fashion design degree pattern making skills. So I made a pattern. I highly recommend getting a piece of whiteboard or a large piece of paper and actually drawing out your dimensions before you start cutting your fabric, because it's gonna be really difficult to cut the teepee fabric if you don't know how big you need it. My pattern looks like this. We're gonna be cutting 4 triangles that are this shape. So as you can see, It's a triangle. And then we need to make our whole sleeves. So what I mean by that is just a piece of fabric that's folded, has kind of like a pocket. So the pole can slide in and it'll stay stationary. That's just a long rectangle piece. Also added a 1/2 inch on each side so that we can hot glue all this stuff together. So the first thing that you need to do is make your pattern or template, and then you're gonna cut out your fabric. So we're gonna need 4 of the triangles for the teepee sides and 4 pole sleeves. So in order to not waste any of our fabric, we're gonna be cutting the triangles 2 at a time. And how we're gonna place our pattern is kind of like one triangle is gonna be this way, and then the other triangle is gonna be this way, so that we optimize all of our material. So just pin it down and then cut it out. So once you have all of your pieces cut out, your 4 triangles and your 4 long rectangular strips, we're gonna start putting it all together. So we're gonna start hot gluing all of the seams so that it kind of creates like a Christmas tree skirt shape. You know, if like a Christmas tree skirt is like round and it has a hole in the middle, that's basically what it's gonna look like, but it's gonna have kind of like straight edges. You get me. So taking one of your strips, you're gonna fold it hot dog style, so lengthways, matching up the edges, and then starting at one end, you're gonna be adding a strip of hot glue 1/2 inch from the edge. So let's do it. So once you have all 4 of those hot glued together, now we're just gonna put all of the pieces together, alternating triangle, pole sleeve, triangle, pole sleeve, triangle, pole sleeve, triangle. Is that 4? Something like that. So you're gonna take one of your panels, and I actually did iron down the 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side of the triangle just to make it easier for me to see. Take one of your triangles and one of your pole sleeves with the loop on the outside. We're gonna match up the seam allowance and literally hot glue it the same way. Gonna put a row of hot glue along the side of the fabric of the triangle and place this right on top. And so we're just gonna do that again on the opposite side, so that now a triangle is going into the pole sleeve this way, and then a triangle is gonna start going on the opposite side, our 4 sides of our teepee. Okay, so all of the sides are glued down. So now we're gonna be putting in our poles. So you're just gonna slide all of your poles into each of the pole sleeves. Okay. All of the poles are in, so let's stand it up, and then we're going to cinch the top part of the poles together so that it stands out and not folded like this. So before we actually set up the teepee, we're gonna pick a side to be our front, and we're going to go right in the middle of the triangle and cut a slit up to about like 10 inches from the top. So now we're gonna stand it up and separate the legs so that the fabric is straight on each side. So once you have all of your sides evenly distributed, we're gonna cinch the top of these poles together with some matching rope to our leash so that it'll hold tight. So now we're just gonna add a few more cute embellishments to the front with our pom-poms and tassels and our cute name plaque, and she's all done. So we hope you guys like these DIYs and you're inspired to make one for your own cat or dog at home, or pet in general if you have like a hamster. We hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, definitely hit the like button below. And if you want to follow along as I do more DIYs for myself, my home, my closet, and even for Kinsley, definitely hit the subscribe button below, and we will see you guys next week. Bye guys! We're gonna make some stuff. Oh! You want cute stuff to hold your babies? Babies?